So, guys, in our previous session, we did discuss about glide user and glide form. Glide user and glide form are actually client-side APIs. So I told you what is client-side and what is server-side. Okay. Well, today we are going to start discussing about client scripts. Client scripts. Client scripts are piece of JavaScript or piece of JavaScript that is executed on client. It's a piece of JavaScript that is executed on client. So that means here in the client scripts, we can use client side APIs plus JavaScript. So we can execute client side APIs plus JavaScript. Okay. Client scripts are piece of JavaScript. Piece of JavaScript in the sense client side APIs plus JavaScript that is executed on the client. Okay. Well, guys, there are 4 types of client scripts. On load client script, on change client script, on submit client script, on sell edit client script. There are 4 types of client scripts. On load, on change, on submit, and on sell edit. Okay. Fine. On load client script, we have already seen that runs every time when the form loads. Okay. Let me just go to the form. Guys, whatever the table that we created, right? That is actually in the previous personal developer instance. That is gone because in the personal developer instance, it is corrupted somehow. I am just using new personal developer instance to explain the things. For now, we will use one table as an example. We will use problem table as an example. I am just using problem form. Is Kumar on the call? Right click configure client scripts. On the form, right click configure client scripts. These client scripts, you can see it on any form. If you open the incident form, right click configure client scripts on the incident form. If you open the user form, right click configure client scripts. You can see these client scripts on any form. Okay. You're getting my point? So right click configure client scripts. So I'm trying to create a new client script here. So when we are creating a client script, you have to provide the client script name. It should be descriptive. Descriptive in the sense meaningful. If you keep some random name, it won't make sense. You have to use descriptive name, which should be meaningful. Okay. What exactly this client script is doing? That should be in a short form. And on which table form you are writing client script? On which table form? If it is on the incident form, you will select incident table name. If it is on the problem form, you will select a problem table name. If it is on the major incident form, if it is on the custom incident form, on which form this client script should be executed, you have to select the table name. So UI type. UI type means, guys, the form can be shown in different UIs. See here, this is actually one UI. Same problem form, I can show it on the mobile also. I can show it on the portal also. You can see, you are able to see the problem form here. This is problem form, but UI is different. UI is different. This is actually problem form. The UI is different. This is also a problem form. UI is different. So, and you have another UI called mobile also. The client script that we are writing should work on all the user interfaces. Then you have to select all. Okay. And you have 4 types of client scripts. I told you, right? On load client script, on change client script, on submit client script, and on select client script. 4 types of client scripts. And here you have seen active checkbox. This is checked means it will work. If it is unchecked means it won't work. Inherited. So we created child tables, parent table, child tables. The client scripts that we are writing, should work on the child tables as well. The client scripts that we are writing should work on the child tables as well. Okay. Then the client script that we are writing should work on child tables as well means you will check the inherited checkbox. And here you have global checkbox. We have multiple views on the form. We have multiple views on the form. When we created a table, we created views as well. The form can be shown in different views, I told. By default, this global checkbox is checked. It will work on all the views. If this checkbox is unchecked, you have to specify the view name here, so that this client script will work only for particular view. Let us take in the form there are 5 views. The client script should not work on the 5 views. It should work only on the 1 view. Then you will uncheck this checkbox. You will write the view name here. What if the client script should work for 2 views? You have to create 2 client scripts for 2 different views. If this client script should work for 3 views means you have to create 3 client scripts. Getting my point? If this global checkbox is checked, by default it is checked. It will work on all the views. Okay, it will work on all the views. If this checkbox is unchecked, you have to specify the view name. If the view name is specified, this client script will work only for that particular view. If you have to make the client script will work on two views, means you have to create two client scripts. Okay. And description, what exactly this client script does. We have to write this one. Messages. Messages means, guys, ServiceNow supports multiple languages. ServiceNow supports multiple languages. If I want to show a message, I should show that message in China for Chinese. I should show that message in Germany for Germans. I should show it in French for Paris people. I should show it in Korea for Korean people. So here you have to call the messages. You have to call the messages. In ServiceNow, you just type messages here. Under system UI, you will find messages. Open these messages and create a new message here. You can see English language. This language, I don't know. So it's China or Korea. Both look like same. China or Korea, I'm not sure. Okay. And you will write the message in Korea. Let me do one thing. China. Okay. You created a message. You will just take this message name, key name. You just provide here. I'll show you. I'm taking onload client script. Okay. Here, G underscore form dot add information message. Okay. Get message and the message name. Okay. So I am now seeing it in English language, right? My preferred language is English. I am just changing it to China. It is showing in China, right? Let me just go and refresh the form now. Here, good morning message should be shown in China. You can see. Good morning message is also showing in China, right? See, if I log in as Chinese person, I should see good morning message in Chinese language. If I log in as American person, I should see it in English language. Let me do one thing. Let me just change my preference to English here. Okay. For English also, I am creating a separate message. Okay. I did do I did do save. I should say insert and step. Okay. So my preferred language is now English, right? It should now show in the English language. It is showing in the English language. Okay. I'm just changing my preference to Chinese. Even when I select Chinese also, it will show in English. So Chinese can't understand English. Chinese can't understand English. May do one thing. Oh, okay. This one is horrible. So these messages are used, guys. These messages are used to translate the message in different languages. Okay. I'll tell you how to use these messages in the coming sessions. Okay. Okay. Well, here this is a scripting part where you can actually use where you can write the script that will be executed. In this script, you can only use client-side APIs plus JavaScript. You cannot use server-side APIs here in the client scripts. You can use client-side APIs plus JavaScript, like glide user, glide form. I was using g underscore form dot add information messages. G underscore form dot add error messages. Glide form, glide user plus JavaScript icons. And then this isolate script checkbox. Guys, by default, in JavaScript, you have two things. In JavaScript, you have two things. Document object model. Document object model in the sense that is bit advanced one. Okay. So what it is telling, new client scripts run in strict mode with a direct DOM access disabled. DOM means document object model. Okay. New client script run in strict mode with a direct DOM access disabled. Access to jQuery prototype, the window object are likewise disabled. By default, advanced JavaScript is disabled. Okay. So advanced JavaScript in the sense document object model, browser object model, window object model, jQuery, these things won't be allowed. You can see here new client scripts run in strict mode with the direct DOM access disabled. Access to jQuery prototype and the Windows object are likely disabled. To disable this on per script basis, okay, configure this form and add isolate script field. So here there is an isolate script field here. By default, this checkbox is checked. You have to uncheck this checkbox. Okay, so that if you want to use advanced JavaScript, you can use advanced JavaScript. Okay, understand, right? This is a descriptive name on which table form this client script should run. If this it should run on all the views, you will select all type of client scripts. And active false means it won't work. Inherited means it will work on the child tables. Global means it will work on all the views. And messages. So it is used for language translation. Script. In this script, you can use only client-side APIs plus JavaScript. And by default, advanced JavaScript is not recommended in ServiceNow. And if you want to write advanced JavaScript, you have to uncheck this checkbox. Okay. Okay. Well, we will understand one by one each type of client script. Okay. No, Basuraj. Okay. A moment. Writing an alert, guys. Okay. I'm writing an alert here. This alert is another way of showing the messages. I told you, right? Messages. This is an on-load client script. This will run every time when the form gets loaded. This will run every time when the form gets loaded. Now the form is loaded. The client script has run. Every time when the form gets loaded. This form will be loaded whenever I open this. If I open the problem form, the form will be loaded, right? Now the form will be loaded, on-load client script will. Use cases we will discuss slowly. Now, for now, you just understand how exactly the on-load client script is working. The on-load client script will run every time when the form gets loaded. You're clear, right? Now what I'm doing is I'm deactivating this one so that it won't work from now onwards. I am creating another client script. On change client script. Okay. So whenever I select on change here, field name is appearing. Whenever I select on change, the field name is appearing. That means you have to change a value on a particular field. Let us take, I am changing the value on the color, I'm changing the value on the category field. Every time when I change the value on the category field, the unchanged client script will run. See here, when I select unchange here, I have to select on which particular field you are changing the value. Okay, every time when you change the value on the category field, this on-change client script will run. So every time when the form gets loaded, the onload client script will run. We deactivated that, it won't run now. Now, when I change the value on a category field, particularly I mentioned here. So if I change the value on the impact field, it won't work. I have to change the value on the category field. Now I am changing the value on the category field. On-change client script is running or not. Every time when you change the value, the on-change client script will run. Okay. Every time when you change the value, the on-change client script will run. Suppose if you change the value here, it won't work because you particularly mentioned here category. So remember, every time when you change the value on a particular field, the on-change client script will run. Okay. In the on-change line script, you have multiple parameters here. Multiple parameters here. So you ignore about this control. Control is nowhere used. Control is nowhere used. Even in the interview, if they ask what is control in the on-change line script, you tell them that I did not get chance to use it. Even I did not get chance to use them. Okay, ignore about control. I'll tell you what is old value, what is new value. So old value, new value means here, guys. So now here, network is the old value. If I change it to database, database is a new value. Old value will be network. Getting my point? If I change the value to software, software is the new value. Database will be old value. Do you understand what is new value, what is old value here? Now I am changing it to network. Network is the new value. Software is the old value. Okay. And you have ease loading. Now you tell me, is the form loading now? Form is not loading, right? Form is not loading now. Is the form loading? No. Form is not loading. Form loading means it will be something like this one. Form is not loading. Okay. Now you tell me form is not loading now. Here, this is loading will give you Boolean value true or false. If the form is loading, it will say true. If the form is not loading, it will say false. I am just writing here is loading. Okay. Let me just refresh this one so that it will work. What is it telling? False. Now the form is not loading, right? Now the form is not loading. Then you have this is template. Is template means the form. I am using my finger to enter the field value. Without using my finger also, I can enter the field value. Without using my finger also, I can enter the field value. That is called template. First of all, what am I doing is I have to create a template. The template you can create it by using these three dots. Toggle template bar, create a template. Remove other field values. Category as software. Okay, submit this. Okay, so here I am not filling the category field value manually. I am just clicking on this template here. Top below you have template 4. Click on this one. Okay, the unchanged client script has run. It is set as software. I did not fill this field value. This field value is filled from the template. Okay, so you can directly fill the field value. You can fill the field value from the template as well. So if the value is filled manually, is template will be false. If the value is filled from the template, now you can see is template. As I am filling the field value from the template, it is true. Now you see here, I am filling the field value manually, it is false. Okay. So in the unchanged client script, when exactly the unchanged client script will run every time when you change the particular value on a category field. And you have for total 5 parameters. Old value, new value, is loading, is template. Old value means the hardware is the new value now. And old value will be network. And here is loading. If the form is loading, it will be true, else it will be false. Is template will be if the value is entered from the template, it is true, else it is false. Guys, right after this particular first line, immediately second line is starting. Second line is starting. This is if condition, JavaScript if condition. In the if condition, what is it written? Is loading. Is loading means if the form is loading, then it will be true. If it is true, if the form is loading, don't run this particular script on change client script. So that means on change client script by default will not work on the form load. If I remove this line, it will work on onload as well. So that means on change client script can also work as onload client script as well. Because of this condition, on change client script will not work on onload. In the condition, what is it written? If the form is loading, return means don't run it from the next line. So stop it at third line. Don't run the fourth line. You getting my point? Okay. If the form is loading immediately right after this line, second line, in the second line, if the form is loading, it will be true, right? If it is true, don't run the script and stop the script execution here itself. So before the second line, I'm writing alert here. Now you will see on change the client script work on onload as well or not. Let me refresh this one. See, it is working on onload or not. It is working on onload, right? It is true. So what is happening here is that by default, the second line, immediately the script will be populated. If the form is loading, it will be true. If it is true, stop the script execution. If you remove this one, the on-change client script will work on form load and on-change, both. If the selected value is empty, suppose if you select empty value, none, on-change client script will not work. If I select a software, it is working. Okay. If I select a database, it is working. If I select a none, it won't work. So if the form is loading, if the selected value is empty, don't run this script. Return means don't run the script from the next line onwards. Getting my point? This question will be for sure asked in the interviews. Can on change work on load? Yes, by removing this condition. By removing this condition, we can make the on change client script work on load clients. Okay. Well, that is actually about on change client script. Now we will understand about on submit client script. So every time when you try to submit the form, every time when you try to submit the form, the on submit line script will run. Okay, let me just refresh this one. When I try to submit this one, you can see I am on submit line script. Now I am trying to submit this one. I am on submit line script. I am trying to submit this one. Again, on submit line script. Every time when you try to submit the form, on submit line script will run. In the on submit line script, there are no parameters here. In the on change line script, you have parameters. Control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. Okay. And the last one, on threaded client script, which is not important. Remember this point. onload, on change, on submit client scripts will work on the form. But on sell edit client script will never work on the form. Right click, configure client scripts. Okay. Even when you select answer edit, you are able to see field. I am selecting category here. Okay. Remember, on change, on load, on submit will work on the form. On sell edit client script will never work on the form. Okay. It will work on the list. I am writing alert here. Okay. In the problems list, this is called list. You pull the category field. You pull the category field. So every time when you try to change the category field value from the list, the I am answered client script. I am answered client script. Every time when you change the category value from the list, the answered client script will run. Okay. In the answered client script, you have parameters. System IDs, table, old values. Here you can see it is old values, not a value. Plural here. Old values. So why is it old values here? Why it was old value in the unchanged client script? Because we can change the category value, multiple category values, multiple record category values at a time. You can use control click on every record. So now I am actually changing total 6 problem record categories at a time. 6 problem records categories at a time. I selected 6 problem records categories using control click. I am now trying to change the category to software. Let us use database or network. Okay, I'm using network here. Okay, now I have changed the category for 6 problem records. That means there will be one new value, multiple old values. There will be only one new value. So that is why it is clearly mentioned here. Only one new value, old values. Let me just show them. These three I am changing. There will be network will become old value. Network and two other empty values. Okay. Network empty, and hardware is actually the new value. Okay. So here you can see network hardware, right? I'm just changing it to software. There will be two old values. There will be two old values, one new value. Okay. Because we can edit multiple records categories at a time from the list. Okay. So every problem record has system IDs, right? Every problem record has system IDs, right? Which problem record categories you are changing will be stored in the system IDs. Okay. List, right? Refresh the list. So these three records, system IDs, let us say here how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 record system IDs it will give. System IDs will give you 5 record system IDs. You can see 5 records. These record system IDs. 5 record system IDs you will get. 5 old values. 1 new value. Okay. And there will be another parameter called a table. So on which table we are on now? You tell me. We are on the problem table. These many records you are modifying. You are changing the category. Table, problem table. These are the old values. And this is the new value. And the last one, the callback function. So the callback function means it's a different one, guys. I have to explain in detail about it. Callback function comes under synchronous and asynchronous calls. Synchronous and asynchronous calls. Okay. When we discuss synchronous and asynchronous calls, we'll discuss about callback. So system IDs means how many records category you are changing. Those many records system IDs it will give you. Table means on which table we are on. Old values means what were the old values before you change the value. New value means what is the value that you change now. Callback means it's a asynchronous call. So I'll tell you what is synchronous call and asynchronous call. Okay. So this is actually about client scripts overview, guys. There are 4 types of client scripts. One is when one runs every time when the form gets loaded. On change means every time when you change the value on a particular field. On submit every time when you try to submit the form. Answer it will work only on the list, that too on a particular field. Okay. So tomorrow we'll start discussing about the use cases. Any questions from anyone, guys? Any questions from anyone? Alekya, Basuraj, MC, Hitesh, Udvi, Kavati, Sujesh, Tripti. Everyone.
Hi, Uday.
I am saying.
Uday, so maybe I think it is covered in the use case, like when to go to this client scripts, if what is the requirement, if what requirement comes, then we'll go to this client script.
Yes, that I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you.
Maybe covered in later sessions, right, Uday?
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, the use cases part of it, we are yet to discuss.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
So, yeah, hi.
Yeah, actually, on field, on change client script is there, right? And we are applying on the single field. We can apply on multiple fields. When we change the 2 fields at a time, or it will be covered in coming sessions or use cases.
Unchanged client script. When do we use unchanged client script, right?
Change client script, we will apply when.
So basically, I think if we want to apply this change scripts on 2 fields, so we have to
See,
create two separate.
let me give you one example here. See, Aadhaar card number. Okay. So every time when I change the value in this particular field, the unchanged line script will run. Now I changed the value. I entered some value. Immediately the unchanged line script will run. So what is it telling? Please enter valid format. For the value that I am entering is not in the valid format, please enter it in the valid format. That format they have given.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose I am giving
12 digits.
Yeah. So I have entered this value. This is the valid format. This is the valid format. So what is it telling? Invalid Aadhaar number. So for this one, you have to write unchanged line script. Okay. Now I am entering. This number is there. So it is fetching that particular guy details and that particular guy number, phone number.
Okay.
You got it right? So why am I writing unchanged line script here?
Yeah, this one I understood. But when we want to change both Aadhaar number and name at the same time, can't we do that?
See, here you have to, whenever you change the number here, this name is coming from database.
Yeah.
Okay. This name is coming from database. You can edit it if you want to edit, you can edit it. Okay. But as this value is coming from database, it is better not to edit.
Yes, understood.
You understand why am I writing unchanged line script? I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you what script I wrote here. So Aadhaar validation, which is actually a unchanged line script on Aadhaar number field. Okay. Every time Aadhaar number field, I wrote unchanged line script. Okay. So first of all, when the form is loading, if the value is Aadhaar number is selected as empty, I am clearing the name field and mobile number field. Okay. Getting my point. So here I am actually doing the validation. I'm taking the Aadhaar number, whatever the number that is entered, right? I'm taking that number. So that is actually in the 12 digit format or not. If it is not in the 12-digit format, I am just writing, I'm clearing the field value. I am writing a message that please enter valid format. Okay. And from here, I am getting the details from the database. Using this line of script, I am getting it from database. If that is not there in the database, if not found in the database, okay, I am actually showing invalid Aadhaar number. You have an idea?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
This Clyde Ajax, we are fetching the
Mm.
value from server side.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Understood.
So let me, I told you email examples, right? Invalid emails. Let me just go to, I created one form. This is actually not a table form. This is catalog form. And this topic will be covered later. Okay. So here, external emails. I am entering some email here. What is it telling? Enter. Here I have written unchanged client script. Every time when I change the value on this particular field, unchanged client script will run. Guys, in ServiceNow, there are only 4 types of client scripts. But in the JavaScript, on mouse over, on mouse remove, on mouse over, on mouse remove, on scroll, on play, on pause. When you watch the video, right? When you click on button on pause, on play, for everything there will be even on click. On click, whenever you click on, whenever you press keyboard, the touchpad, whenever you press the touchpad, that is on click. These are called events. Okay, events in JavaScript. On change, on click, on mouse over, on mouse out, on key down, on load. The browser has finished loading the page. On change, HTML field element has been changed. On click, the user clicks on HTML element. Okay. There are so many events, guys. Okay. You are able to see only few. This list is much longer. Click on this one. These all are actually events. But we don't have to use all these events. On load, on change, on submit, on select. You understand, right? When I use on change line script and all.
Yes.
I'll tell you when to use on load as well. Hmm? Okay. From tomorrow onwards, we'll start discussing use cases, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. See you there in tomorrow's session. Thank you, everyone.